here in the White Plains City School District. Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, members of the Board of Education, Mr. Dixon, members of the faculty and staff here at Eastview, and of course, our students, and most importantly, our honored guests. One of the things that makes me so proud to be part of the White Plains City School District community is the fact that we recognize and revere the veterans, both in our lives and in our community. This celebration annually is a high watermark for what I believe every school district across the United States of America should be doing today. The United States of America is the greatest nation on the planet. Let me just say that again. The United States of America is the greatest nation on the planet. And it's not because we are perfect. It's because we seek to be perfect. It's because we seek to be better. It's because we work to make our home a better place, and because we recognize and value the freedom that each and every one of us has. And so for our students, Tigers, when we think about the freedoms that were offered in the United States of America, what we have to remember is that they came at a cost. Hundreds of years of men and women putting uniforms on and defending the nation, initially from its infancy, before it was even truly a country. It was an idea that there could be a land where you could be free. And here we are today, 2023. And I want to tell you what, I wish there was peace in the world, but there is not, and there has never been peace in the world. But the United States of America brings a light. It brings a light. It brings a light to people everywhere. I'm a history teacher, maybe you can tell. One of the most amazing things about the United States Armed Forces is that when they show up in foreign lands, oftentimes the people run toward them. The people run toward them because they know they're going to receive assistance, help, support, medical care, food, water, whatever it might be. And so when we think about Veterans Day, and I know it's a 3-day weekend, when we think about Veterans Day, I want you to join me, I want you to join my family, and I want you to join the rest of the White Plains community in recognizing that today is about honoring the sacrifice that the men and women who chose freely of their own will to give up their time, to give up their holidays, their celebrations with their families, all to go out and defend our freedoms. So this is going to be a great performance today, a fitting tribute to the heroes who serve our nation. And I want to thank every one of the members of the Eastview community who helped to make this possible again this year. And I want to thank every one of you who came out to celebrate our veterans, and most of all, for our veterans who are here today. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. Stay WP.
introducing our fine Mayor Roach. Let's welcome him with a round of applause.
Thank you, Ms. Mazziati, and both my boys came through here, so they both learned music from you, so thank you so much. They both still love music. It's my pleasure to be with you here to honor our veterans. I want to start out by inviting everyone on Saturday morning at 10:30 to City Hall here in White Plains, where we'll be having our Veterans Day ceremony, and we'll be having refreshments in our new Veterans Garden. Afterwards, I see Vito Pinto here, and he was there for the opening of that, where we have a deck gun from the USS Maine. How many of you live in Battle Hill by any chance? How many of you young people? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. So Battle Hill is where this country was saved during the Revolutionary War, and some of the first veterans fought in Battle Hill. General Howe sent his troops up from New York City to end the war. The rebels were mostly in New England. The British were in New York City, and Westchester was called the neutral ground, where all the trouble was. And he sent them up here to end the war. George Washington had his army here. He needed to back up because there were so many British coming that someone pointed out there's a hill over there. It was called Chatterton's Hill at the time. We need to get troops up on top. So up they went, including Alexander Hamilton, who was 21 years old. And yes, he was on Broadway in White Plains before he was on Broadway in New York. And he had two cannon that he had captured from the British and held off the Hessians and the British troops long enough for Washington's army to retreat right over on this hill over here, right back here, and save the army that went on to attack in Trenton and preserve and start the victory to win our nation's freedom. So we're part of that history. I'll also tell you that at the end of the war, General Rochambeau, the French general, marched through White Plains down Broadway with his French troops headed for Yorktown, where the war ended. So we have a lot of connections to it. I want to thank all our veterans here today. I hope you're enjoying this service, this ceremony that we have. I think it's amazing, the music that you hear from 6th graders. It's really remarkable, and I get so much joy from it. I hope you do as well. And I want to thank, on behalf of the people of the City of White Plains, all our veterans here today. I will call my father on Veterans Day, as I do every year. He was in the Navy. One final thing, I just got a package from an individual in Maine. He was a captain aboard the USS White Plains. There's been 2 ships named White Plains after the battle. And the second ship, he was a captain on that ship. And he sent me the tour book, which is, it's like a yearbook that sailors put together for their cruise, where the places they went and the people that were on the ship. And so I'll be calling him today because I would like to get him involved in some way with some of our veterans programs, because he sent it unsolicited. It has a lot of historical material in it that is going to be very valuable to us. So thank you all for coming out today. I hope I see you Saturday morning, and thank you, veterans, for your service to our country.
Star-Spangled Banner more than 200 years ago, he called America the land of the free and the home of the brave. Those words are as true today as they were then. On November 11th, 2023, our nation will celebrate the holiday called Veterans Day. To mark this important holiday, the Eastview students are pleased to honor the men and women of our armed forces with this musical salute. Each and every day, countless sacrifices are made by the brave men and women in our armed forces to protect the many freedoms that each of us enjoy. We're proud that this is our 15th year celebrating our veterans at Eastview. This Veterans Day event has become a very important part of the fabric of our school culture. At Eastview, we believe in epic. Every person impacts culture. And we know that today's tribute to you, our veterans, will be totally epic.
Today we are honored to have veterans among us. And many of you in this audience may have friends and family that have served or are currently serving in the armed forces right now. To the veterans that are with us here today and to the families of veterans, we thank you and we will not forget the sacrifices that you have made for each and every one of us.
World War I officially ended on June 28, 1919 in the town of Versailles, France. However, fighting ceased 7 months earlier when an armistice went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. In November 1919, President Wilson proclaimed November 11th as the first commemoration of Armistice Day. As the idealistic hope had been realized that World War I was the war to end all wars, November 11th might still be called Armistice Day. But only a few years after the holiday was proclaimed, war broke out in Europe. For many years, this important event was called Armistice Day. But in 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower changed the name to Veterans Day so we may honor all veterans.
honored to welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Burton Jones, to our school today. Mr. Jones has been a member of the White Plains community for the past 6 years. He is a 3rd grade teacher at MAS, an assistant varsity football and wrestling coach at White Plains High School, and a martial arts instructor at Total Form and Fitness Judo Club. Mr. Jones is a graduate of Norwich University, the military college of Vermont. Norwich is the oldest private military college in the nation and the birthplace of ROTC. Upon graduation, Mr. Jones served in the 86th Infantry Brigade Combat Team with the 1st 102nd Infantry. Mr. Jones is a proud graduate of the Army Combat Engineer School, the Army Infantry School, and the Army Mountain Warfare School. Please welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Burton Jones.
Good morning, Eastview students, faculty, staff, friends, and fellow veterans. Thank you for that warm welcome. It is my honor to be here to celebrate and observe Veterans Day with you all. I want to start by thanking Mr. Holmes for putting together such a thoughtful and respectful presentation year after year. This is my 4th Veterans Day celebration in Eastview, and once again, I am thoroughly impressed with all the moving parts and the amount of work that has clearly gone into everything. So thank you to everyone that helped put together another awesome event. Today, I am here to share a little about my story. It all starts with a green scrapbook. When I was a young boy, no older than 4 or 5, I came across my father's military scrapbook. This is where he saved all his pictures and documents from his time in the Army in the late 60s and early 70s. I can still remember sitting on the couch and flipping through the pages, picturing myself in the uniform. I couldn't wait to grow up so I could join the military and make a book of my own. I held on to that dream throughout my childhood, and after graduating high school, I got my first taste of the military when I went on to attend Norwich University, the oldest private military college in the nation. I arrived at Norwich and had few expectations beyond Hollywood's interpretation of military school. But all that changed on September 11th, 2001, when I was only 10 days into my freshman year. That changed the tone of my experience. We knew the United States was going to war, and it was no longer just an academic pursuit, it was preparation for combat. Norwich taught me many valuable lessons and ultimately prepared me for my time in the Army. My time in the Army went fast, as life tends to do. I was honorably discharged after a little over 8 years of service in the Connecticut Army National Guard. The weekend warrior life proved to be challenging. Training always seemed to fall on important days, such as weddings, birthdays, and vacations. I remember thinking about what my friends and family were doing in those moments, but I chose a different path and had to accept those sacrifices. When I reflect on those years, I have nothing but proud. I trained to be the toughest version of myself, as mountain warfare is not for the weak of heart. Being a military mountaineer gave me purpose and a sense of pride. It tested my toughness, both physically and mentally. I was very fortunate in my experience. You see, all veterans sacrifice their time, as we only have a limited amount in our lives. While I did sacrifice my time, I had friends and comrades that gave more. Some suffer from PTSD and have mental health issues. Some lost limbs and suffer from chronic pain, and others made the ultimate sacrifice and lost their lives. There are approximately 18 million veterans in the United States today. I am one small piece of a very large puzzle. Today, I am one of many standing in front of people just like you in locations all over the world speaking about our veterans. It is a special day, one set aside as a reminder of the sacrifices and service of men and women who have valiantly and selflessly put their country before themselves. Indeed, this day helps focus our attention on the key purpose of Veterans Day, a celebration to honor America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. Before I conclude my speech, I just want to say that this is exactly what service members fight for. This. All of this. It's all of you, it's the American spirit, and I can feel it in this auditorium. This great American experiment. America is the greatest idea in human history. America is your freedom to speak freely, your freedom to pursue happiness, and your freedom to take risk. The best way to honor and thank our veterans is to take an active part in maintaining freedom in America and be part of serving something larger than oneself. You do not have to join the military to do this. Americans can say thank you by taking full advantage of all of your rights and freedoms that have been defended. If we want to preserve our freedoms, we must put them into action. I know most of you in attendance are in 6th grade, but remember, you can always volunteer your time to help your community. And as you get older, vote in every election. Fulfill your jury duty, be a volunteer firefighter or EMT, mentor an underclassman, represent your country while abroad, register for selective service, and yes, maybe consider serving in the military. Live your lives, enjoy our freedoms, and be good Americans. Then all veterans will be proud to know that their sacrifices were not in vain. I want to conclude by saying Veterans Day isn't just for veterans, it's a day for all Americans. It's a day to remember why they were fighting and a day for all of us to begin our journey of protecting our freedom and the freedom of many future generations. Thank you for honoring our veterans today. Let us walk toward tomorrow still honoring them by living in the freedom that our veterans have protected. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. We are all inspired by your service to our country. Throughout this nation's history, America's soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen have bravely answered the call to defend our freedom, to aid our friends and allies, and to turn back aggressors. We can never fully repay our debt of gratitude to the American service members who died in battle or were wounded. We can, however, recognize and thank the veterans still living today. The art and music departments at Eastview have created a special video tribute entitled Thank You to Our Veterans, in honor of the friends and family members of the Eastview staff and students who have so valiantly protected our freedoms through their service in the American Armed Forces.
For over 10 years, our school has honored our veterans. We celebrate and honor America's veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good of our nation. To our veterans, as a proud veteran myself, like you, I believe in the bond and cohesive shared experience and belief in the esprit de corps that lives in the heart and minds of all of us who have served. Valiantly, you have stood to serve our nation, and we too stand as we salute you for your bravery and your courage. Our school video is an appreciation of your service. Thank you and enjoy.
Living here in paradise because of sacrifice from the lives of heroes. They leave their homes and family, fight for you and me, to protect our country. On foreign land they make their stand, in the name of freedom. So let's show our love to the warriors. Thank you, soldier, for giving your lives, protecting me. Thank you, brothers, sisters too, for keeping our land free. Thank you, soldier. Thank you, soldier. Somewhere on a battlefield, a soldier kneels in the burning sun, camouflaging all his fears as he volunteers to go and save someone. Round after round, exploding sound out in the middle of nowhere. I hope that God above hears that soldier's prayer. Thank you, soldier, for giving your lives, protecting me. Thank you, brothers, sisters too, for keeping our land free. Thank you, soldier. Thank you, soldier. For us you sacrifice, defending and protecting us. You give your blood, you give your lives for freedom, for freedom, for freedom. Thank you, soldier, for giving your lives, protecting me. Thank you, brothers, sisters too, for keeping our land free. Thank you, soldier, for giving your lives, protecting me. Thank you, brothers, sisters too, for keeping our land free. Thank you, soldier. Thank you, soldier.
Today, it is indeed our privilege to say thank you to all America's veterans, to let them know that we appreciate them for their service and honor them for their sacrifices. The price of freedom is high. We cannot afford to forget those willing to pay it. Today, we celebrate America's veterans for keeping this nation the land of the free and the home of the brave.
When America had an urgent need, these brave ones raised a hand. No hesitation held them back. They were proud to take a stand. They left their friends and family. They gave up a normal life to serve their country. They plowed into the strife. They fought for freedom and for peace on stranger foreign shores. Some lost new friends, some lost their lives. Among the wars, other veterans answered the call to support the ones who fought. The country had requirements for the essential skills they brought. This Veterans Day, we salute each and every one of them, the noble and the brave, the ones still with us here today, and those who rest in the grave. So here's to our country's heroes that are cut above the rest. Let's give the honor that is due to our country's spirit.
In and out, hear them shout, counter march right about.
Thank you to our honored guests, the members of the White Plains District Administrations, the members of the White Plains Board of Education, parents and families. Thank you to the White Plains Mayor Roach. Thank you to our Superintendent, Dr. Ricca. Thank you to our Principal, Mr. Dixon, and our Assistant Principal, Ms. Lasser. Thank you to our honored guest and speaker, Mr. Jones. Thank you to all of the students and teachers who are involved in today's program. We would most especially like to thank our veterans for being here today. If you are a veteran of the American Army Armed Forces, could you please stand so that we may recognize you at this time? Following today's program through these doors in room 118 today. Once again, on behalf of the entire Eastview school community, I thank you for being here today, and I thank you for the service to our country.
Thank you once again for being here. And if all of our guests and veterans will go to Ms. Dunning out this door, she will direct you to our special breakfast in your honor. So please, please leave to go to your special breakfast in your honor. Let's give our veterans one more round of applause. And any guests that are here today can come to our breakfast. Please do come to our breakfast if you are here.